Positive energy activates constant elevation, or proper education always corrects error. Peace. I am Coach Cody of Zen Wellness. Welcome to that Zen Talk. This is a heavy topic, but let's have fun with it, because people make fun of this topic. Everyone ignores it and we laugh and you know, masturbation, sex addiction. Uh, but, of course, I got to share my story because I'm only going to speak from experience, but also I'm going to, of course, educate. Right? Let's learn together. Let's learn together. But this, we got to break free from this because we've been programmed to think that sex is a thing that we need to do all the time. We need to express it. We need to have it. If we don't have it, we're tense. We're angry. We're aggressive. Right? You gotta start asking yourself, what do you really need? Do you think you need sex? I thought so. So starting with me, I was a late bloomer with masturbation. Hey, before I start, do not judge me or smudge me. And before you judge me, make sure you're perfect. Because, you know, I know what this is. So, it's all how I think about myself, not how anyone else looks at me. But I'm sharing this story because I'm older. I'm not, a young whippersnapper anymore. I feel like it though. Broke my hand like it though too. Like, but broke my little finger playing basketball. But I feel young still. But doesn't this is all from experience, and I want you to learn from it. I was a late bloomer with masturbation. I don't even. It just came out of nowhere. Like I was late in the game. I wasn't. But I was introduced to sex very early. You gotta understand the '80s. I mean, you'll be watching the porn to be like the old ones, and we used to. It just sex was always such a big thing in the '80s. I mean, now, but the thing is that everyone could secretly watch this porn and be addicted to it, and no one knows that you're suffering from it, or you don't even want to admit it. Uh, I already knew it was an issue like early on because I felt not only with masturbation, but um, it was women, just a lot of women. I mean, hundreds. What was I looking for? I was looking to relieve myself for a few seconds and give myself up, give my power up. And that's what we're going to learn about how powerful this is. So I'm talking to the men, but I want the women to stay so you all could understand that yeah, this is something we can fix because there's addiction everywhere. You're addicted to your phone. What is addiction? You can't control your urges. You can't control yourself. That's what an addiction is. We all have vices. When you can't control something, that's when it's a problem, right? Um, and so this happened up until like I really was recognizing it in my 30s. At 35, I was like, yeah, this has got to stop. This has to stop. And even talking to men, uh, I could tell like this is something that's across the board because men use this to go to sleep, to you know, to feel better because they don't know how to control their emotions or express their emotions. Because as men, we're always getting shut down. No one wants to hear our shit. So this is what makes you strong. Don't look at it as you're being disabled. You have a disability. It is disabling you from reaching new heights because it is one of the most powerful energies you possess. Why do you think it feels so good? If it feels so good, it's the best feeling in the world. To me, the best feeling in the world is having my chakras balanced. That's just me though, because that's orgasmic. If you ever felt it before, um, it's nothing like it. It's better than sex to me. But I understand that urge to feel like good all the time. But what is it doing to you? Why are you allowing this to control you? You got to start asking yourself questions to get into a better space, because it does leave you foggy. I would feel drained. I would feel um, moody. I didn't have a lot of swag. I didn't have, like, I took my mojo away. I gave it all away. You can't get the bathroom floor pregnant, dude. Now, but like, even when you're climaxing and putting it everywhere, you got to understand you're leaving parts of your forever everywhere. And you put it in the toilet, you put it in socks, you wash it. This is all you. This is all a part of you. This is all your power. You just gave it away. You have to look at it like that, because if you don't, then it'll just be like, I'm gonna keep doing it. And if you keep doing it, then you know what it's gonna lead to. Later down the line, you'll know, like, a lot of people have prostate issues. A lot of men have prostate issues, rather. Uh, and why? Are they drying it out? Over sexing yourself. Man, I know you could relate, where you bust so much that it hurts. About to blow a gasket. You have blown gaskets from this, right? And I learned with sex that it's so spiritual. You want to be able to connect with other people, with the person that you're with. Um, and a lot of people don't get that. Like, especially with porn too, like, you have all these expectations of how it's going to go down, and then it doesn't go down like that. It's not one big porn fest or orgy. You know, uh, or you try to mimic that, and maybe the lady isn't with that, right? So let's learn about how sex is sex is special, and we got to treat it as such. If you looking at it like, yeah, I need to do this all the time, again, you want to reserve yourself, you want to control yourself, you want to be able to break free. Breaking free, how sex addiction amplifies depression. Pardon me. The uncomfortable truth. I just woke up from a nap, so I had a long day, but excuse me, no excuse. I'm still going to rock. Let's rock. Boom. What is sexual intercourse? A lot of times we don't understand what sex is. And so hopefully, the younger generations, after me can learn this. So, we can have a better perspective of sex, and not just, oh, I gotta get, because I thought too that I had to have a whole bunch of sex, because no one told me that, no, you're not supposed to. So I'm here to tell you, you want to chill. You want to chill. What is sexual intercourse? This is from etymology, right? This is the root definition: frequent and habitual meeting and contact, social communication between persons, mental or spiritual exchange, or inter communication. Remember, in communication, we have a sender, receiver, and a message in between. What's the message in between? When you're having sex, if you're having meaningless sex, trust me, of all these women, there was a lot of meaningless sex. It didn't mean anything. I didn't have no intention but to just get my rocks off. And I used to preach kind of like, yeah, go explore, be a player, but nah. I'm telling you, gentlemen, you don't want to do that. And I'm talking. I can't say I'm a player. You know what I'm saying? But I was one of them ones. Um, Probably in shortening of euphemistic sexual intercourse. With intercourse, it is social contact and relation, communication to and fro. I think it's supposed to say from, but this is what came straight out of there. Exchange of commerce, communication, a running between intervention, intercommunication, right? Um, because inter means what? Between, right? So sex is a fundamental aspect of human biology. It's there's so much involved. Typically referring to the physical and emotional act of intimate connection between individuals, it can be seen as spiritual in some contexts, because it involves vulnerability, emotional bonding, and can transcend the physical realm to create a deeper connection. I have books on this of how powerful sex energy is and what you could do to hold on to that even while you're having sex, where it can almost feel like you're climaxing. You want to get to that state because again, the more you hold on to your power, you hold it on to that forever, you hold on to that nut, the stronger you get, the more powerful you get, the more focused you are, the more confident you are. Every time you bust a nut frivolously, you just busted a nut and it's not doing nothing for you. It's just wasted. And you don't want to waste it, right? You want to treat it as something that is powerful. Why do you think porn really has you, how they market you? Porn, always has red. The root chakra is red in vibration, right? It's red. And you see that it's red, and look at the root chakra is by the genitalia and the spine, the base of the spine. It's spinal fluid. It's coming from here, shooting all the way down your spine, going to that prostate and releasing everything. If you don't know this, pineal looks somewhat of the head of the penis. So is the penis. We got an in one, we got an inward one, and we got an outer one, right? That's not a coincidence, right? And it's right aligned. So the more you're aligned, the more focused you are. Sexual energy. Sexual energy is often associated with creative energy because it involves a potent life force that can lead to the creation of new life. In creativity, you are giving life to whatever you're creating, right? This energy can be intense and powerful, often described as one of the highest forms of human expression. This is why they're always trying to take it. Again, in porn, it's red, you're horny, right? So the devil got to come out. We all have demons. I remember one time uh, I was overindulged with alcohol, drugs, probably. I'm not sure. Sex. And I was in my bed and I couldn't move. I had sleep paralysis. I couldn't yell. I couldn't do anything. But there was this spirit that was touching me and caressing me. And I found out it was succubus. It's a entity that feeds off of sexual energy. So at times we're influenced by this. Look it up. You can be influenced by this, and it brings you down to the lower realms. We at the lowest physical realm, but it gets lower. And when it gets lower, it's other entities feeding off of your negative energy. Now, you're busting too much nuts, right? So, what's the value of semen? The vital energy, the semen that supports your life, which shines in sparkling eyes. Look at your eyes will tell it all. Okay, which beams in your shining cheeks. It is a great treasure for you. One drop of semen is manufactured through 40 drops of blood. 40 meals gives rise to one drop of blood. 40 drops of blood gives rise to one drop of semen. One ejaculation could repopulate the entire United States of America. That's how potent it is. Sexual fluid is your glow, your vibrance, your contentment. It also gives strength to your prana, empower your ability to be present. As a person conserves their sexual fluid and begin to move it upward in the body, then he gains tremendous power. Just as you save money in the bank, save some of your essence, save some of your forever. This is your true power. And then if you're watching porn, right, you continue to watch porn excessive. This is some of the traits that we may have when it comes to excessive porn watching, right? Uh, and problems does it cause? It causes problems in your relationships at work or at home. Despite your attempts to manage it, you continually lose track of time while watching porn. Your mind is consumed with thoughts of porn all the time, even when you're not watching it or don't want to think about it. That happened to me. Same thing, right? But it's because I had anxiety, I had emotional issues, I had mommy issues. Um, Even when I was younger, older, I was 8 years old. My older third, fourth cousin took me in the closet and was doing some things. If that was a little girl, it's a big deal. But for me, I wasn't traumatized because I liked what was happening, but I didn't understand what was happening. That's trauma. That can affect that definitely affect my addiction, not being able to control myself. I know that was the start. Your mind, I mean, you feel deeply ashamed, guilt, and that's another thing. That guilt keeps growing and growing, or depressed about your porn viewing, or you feel anxious trying to hide the fact that you watch it. Okay, so the physical effects, frequent or excessive masturbation can lead to physical fatigue, including muscle soreness or weakness, right? Sexual dysfunction. Not only if you're not eating right, if you're stressed out and you're overly um, you're gonna have some dysfunction. Excessive masturbation may lead to difficulty achieving or maintaining an erection or experiencing sexual satisfaction with a partner. Again, we will start having these expectations and then we don't get it. And then guess what? The lower chakras is like, we got to do some repairing here. Uh, Urinary issues frequently, masturbation can sometimes lead to urinary issues such as frequent need to urinate or discomfort during urination, irritation and chafing. Overly aggressive or frequent masturbation can cause irritation, redness, or chafing of the genitalia area, right? And then we have the psychological effects. Dependence. Excessive masturbation can lead to the psychological dependence where an individual feel the need to masturbate as a coping mechanism for stress, anxiety, or boredom. Same thing with me. All the above. This is much long ago. I've been free from this for a long time now. But again, I understand. I understand what you're going through. I understand the stress. I understand that you need that gratification, to feel better. Decreased sexual satisfaction. Some individuals who masturbate excessively find that it diminishes their sexual satisfaction with a partner, leading to difficulties in sexual relationships. Guilt and shame, of course, again, feeling of guilt or shame about excessive masturbation. Neglect or of other activities. Spending excessive time on masturbation may lead to neglect of other important activities in life, including work, relationships, and hobbies. Are you there? No judgment. Let's get to work. What are you going to do to fix this? Right? Let's fix this some way somehow. Of course, seek professional help. Cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, and DBT is helpful. Um, Coaching, counseling, therapy, it's all related. That is very helpful. Be open about it. Not to anyone. I'm saying be open enough to not be embarrassed and feel guilt and shame so you can begin to uh, get away from it and fix yourself and heal yourself, because that's what I noticed. I was ashamed too, and I didn't want to talk about it. But the more I talked about it and started admitting it, like, I got an issue here. This is an issue. It's always been an issue, and now it's time to fix it. Don't just talk about it. Be about it. Identify triggers. and underlying issues. Self-reflect, explore the emotional, psychological, and situational triggers that lead to addictive behaviors. Identify these triggers is a crucial step in understanding and addressing the addiction. This addiction can leave you in a state of depression. I know because I was definitely depressed because I was overly sex. Address underlying issues. Many individuals with sex addiction have underlying emotional or psychological issues such as trauma, anxiety, or depression. Addressing these issues through therapy or counseling can help reduce the reliance on addiction behaviors. You know, some of us have addiction to video games as well. All there's so many ways to become an addict. But it's time that you start admitting this. Develop healthy coping mechanisms, stress management. Learn healthy ways to cope with stress and emotional discomfort. I'm always recommending deep breathing, um, yoga, qigong, meditation, mindfulness, or other relaxation techniques. The spine needs to be nice and loose, and it needs to be full of fluid. You're draining that spine. That's why you have lower back issues as well. Alternative activities replace addictive behaviors with positive and fulfilling activities, hobbies, or interests that provide a sense of purpose and satisfaction. Create, create, pick up a lesson, do something else that is going to be more productive. And remember, this is about you and your journey and how you can control yourself. As a man, if you can't control your urges and you're not disciplined, you still have work to do. Okay. You still have some work to do. Create a supportive environment, open communication. If you're in a relationship, communicate openly with your partner about addiction and recovery process, rebuilding trust and maintaining honest dialogue are vital. You know, I didn't talk to any of the women I was with about this until like the last couple of women I was with, or the woman that I'm with now. You know, I've been very vocal, but you know, I don't have this issue anymore. But I let her know like I was on it. Right? Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries to avoid situations or triggers that might lead to the relapse. This could include limited access to certain websites or apps. Okay, delete some of them apps. Me, I'm only on one social media site. Um, and even then, it's still so many women just showing their ass. Uh, and there'll be more temptation on there. Temptation leads to destruction, right? So be self-aware. Becoming self-aware is a start point for self-improvement. You will experience better relationships and at the same time formulate better strategies for improvement. Keep going. Recognize your patterns as much as possible. You want to be able to really get over that urge that's just about 5 minutes long. It's like tobacco, smoking cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes, but only when I was drunk. But you know, I was an alcoholic. That's an addiction. I mean, all these things. So you have to give yourself some grace, but quit making excuses. And yeah, you might fall off, but once you get over a month of holding that in, be all right. Keep trying, but no trying. Do it. Do it for yourself and your well-being. If you're thinking about the long run and the effects of this, so um, love yourself and respect yourself. This is part of it. When you love yourself, you're not a slave to anything. You're not addicted to anything. When you respect yourself, you won't succumb to none of that. Right? You respect yourself that much. I am Coach Kode of Zen Up Wellness. This is That Zen Talk. Thank you for joining me. Peace.